right, let's go, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is week 1 time, but also still a lot of drafts going on. It's Monday, September 1st. We welcome you to Fantasy Football Today, presented by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Good morning, Jamey. Good morning, Heath. Don't care about you. Good morning, Dave Richard. Sleep in today?
Oh, yeah. Didn't get out of the parking lot at Hard Rock until maybe 12:15.
Wow, that's 3 hours past your bedtime.
Dude, I am hurting this morning. Headache from, you can probably guess. My hips were hurting. That's a new one.
You're old.
Talk about old guy problems. My ankle is like immobile, and I sound like halfway like Cliff Kingsbury this morning, so I apologize for that. But what a night, Adam. I wish you were there. It would have been great to have celebrated with you. Let's go Canes.
For any Notre Dame fan out there, and there probably are a lot because, it's Notre Dame.
There were a lot at the Hard Rock last night.
Let's stop talking about it now because you don't want to hear about this. Let's get into fantasy football. Today, we're going to do Heath's bold predictions. Last Monday on CBS Sports Network, we had Jamey, Dan, and Dave give their bold predictions. So we won't spend much time on that. You can listen to that one from last Monday. We'll run through them again. This will be mostly Heath's bold predictions. We have Quinshon Judkins news. We have the biggest ADP risers, and we have some last-minute draft tips. Because we still, you guys would know better than me, but I think we still have, based on CBS leagues, a lot of drafts in the next 2 or 3 days, right?
I have 3 today.
Yeah.
4 today. I just added 1. 4 today, 3 tomorrow. And what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Tuesday. And the leftover leagues will be on Wednesday, so I'll send that out today.
And Jamey, I'm here to help you. I'm going to give you some last-minute draft advice, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so I have an interesting draft.
You have a slow draft going on right now?
Do we?
Well, we do. Me and Dave do. You guys were too scared to do the guillotine league.
Guillotines are
scared's one word.
Get your head cut off. Anyway, I was helping my friend out with a draft over the weekend, and he had the 7th pick. He took McCaffrey, AJ Brown in the 2nd round. Then the round 3, he was like, man, I think you should take Mike Evans here. It's a 3-receiver league. So we take Evans. Round 4, Tyreek Hill is there. And based on ADP, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, and Devontae Adams could all be late round 3, early to mid round 4 picks. And especially if you start with Christian McCaffrey, I wonder how you guys approach that, because I like being young in fantasy football, but I think we've talked about Evans and how attractive that value is now if it's mid to late round 3. And then Tyreek, I don't really understand why Tyreek Hill has fallen as much as he has since the Jonnu Smith trade. We were talking about him as a 2nd-round pick after the Jonnu Smith trade. Now I keep seeing him going late 3rd or into the 4th round, and there's no on-field reason for it. It's just the oblique injury, I think, but he's going to be ready for week 1. So anyway, talk about the balance, and I use those 2 guys specifically, but then there's also Devontae Adams with now the Stafford injury. The balance, Heath, of age versus, I was going to say age versus beauty, but it's nothing about that, but young versus old.
Yeah, I would certainly rather be drafting young players than old players. I don't think with Tyreek it's just the oblique. I think that we made excuses for how bad he was last year relative to the Tyreek Hill bar.
Yeah.
And that the excuse was, well, he was hurt all year. Well, he's at the age and he's hurt again. And so people are maybe thinking he's just going to be what he was last year. I still have Evans and Adams and Tyreek ahead of all of the rookie wide receivers. I would strongly prefer Ladd McConkey and JSN over those guys, but I'm not quite ready to go with the rookies over the old guys. And I think Evans is a little bit of a tricky one because, he might be a top 10 wide receiver for the first month of the season, and it might be pretty crowded in the second half. But if you want to get off to a great start, and that's something I noticed, I've already done my first run through of week 1 projections, and you're going to see some of the old guys that I avoided in drafts that look a lot better in week 1 projections because they're currently healthy.
Okay, but how do you balance those 3, that trio of old wide receivers versus, say, TreVeyon Henderson, or maybe, let's say, young guys in their prime?
Garrett Wilson is not in that conversation at all for me.
Okay, so TreVeyon Henderson, Omarion Hampton, how about like a Ken Walker, young running backs, let's say?
I think that has more to do with how you've started your team. As of right now, I have Henderson and Walker ahead of all those guys.
Dave, I do think that this is an important conversation specifically for the Christian McCaffrey manager. Because if you go, or let's say Derrick Henry, if you go with one of the two old running backs early, should that change your thoughts on, being old in rounds 3 and 4?
Well, let's first look back at last year. How many of these old guys played like they were old guys? And don't tell me they weren't old last year.
Well,
I think the question is, does 1 year of evidence make up for decades?
Decades of what?
Older running backs underperforming.
I don't know. I think it's a case-by-case thing more than anything else at this point. And I'm more concerned about the older receivers than I am Derrick Henry. All the other older running backs, I think we've discounted. And McCaffrey isn't 30 yet, and he's healthy. People are way more concerned about McCaffrey, who was a year younger last year, but had the injury and then hurt himself again leading up to week 1. And then that cost him basically the year. I can't help myself. I still think Christian McCaffrey now has this huge upside. And there are people that have CMC PTSD, and it's okay. And if you don't want to draft him, that's fine. But if a ton of drafts have happened already, I'm pretty sure McCaffrey was the first round pick in almost all of them. The ADP would suggest that. Pairing him with an older receiver later on doesn't bother me one bit. I'm trying to win the league this year.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the big news here. Quinshon Judkins, according to Mary Kay Cabot, who covers the Browns, Quinshon Judkins could be back with the team as soon as this week. I don't know exactly what that means. So, Jamey, what's your interpretation of this? And we're going to talk about the biggest ADP risers, and one of them is Dylan Sampson, who is probably ahead of Jerome Ford. I mean, if you look at ADP, he's just behind him, but since he's such a fast riser, it's probably not really showing where he's going. But 147th overall is the ADP for Dylan Sampson. But Judkins could be back with the team as soon as this week. That's the report. And what do you think about that, Jamey?
It's obviously encouraging for Quinshon Judkins to get his career started. So we'll see how this all plays out. I would anticipate a probably 2 to 4 month ramp up period for him because he missed all of training camp.
Week. I hopefully you meant week, not month.
2 to 4 week ramp up period for him to get ready for the season. So, they don't want to rush him back would be my guess. And, make sure he learns everything he needs to learn. He may have, an accelerated process with that. So who knows? But I would think for week 1, you're looking at Sampson and Ford. For week 2, you're probably looking at Sampson and Ford. And then we see what happens moving forward from there. So if you are drafting and we find out that Judkins signs, then he should be the first Browns running back selected. As of today, I would take Sampson as the first Browns running back.
All right, Dave, Heath, how are you guys drafting the Browns running backs?
Sampson, Judkins, Ford.
Agreed.
Would you take Ollie Gordon or Browns running back?
When I woke up this morning before I saw the Judkins news, Sampson was 1 spot ahead of Ollie Gordon. Not going to do that now if Quinshon's coming back. I think you draft Quinshon with the idea that he'll be a potential starter for your team by mid-October.
Okay. Would you take, I'm just looking at ADP, Javonte Williams or a Browns running back?
Javonte.
I think if we know for sure Quinshon's going to be back, like today, I might take Quinshon over Javonte, thinking the whole course of the season.
It really matters about your build, too, because if I already have 2 running backs in the first 6 or 7 rounds, I don't really ever even consider Javonte.
Yeah.
I'd rather get the high upside guys who could help my team later in the year. But if I need a starting running back, Javonte is definitely better than those guys.
I feel like you should get a bowl of soup and an ugly hat if you draft Javonte Williams.
Oh, looks good on you, though.
This is just keep in mind, holdouts, hold-ins. He's not done anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
That's why you can't count on him until October at the earliest.
All right. Well, let's get into the biggest average draft position risers. It's pretty much all running backs. And right now, Jacory Croskey-Merritt is shooting up the draft boards on CBS. He is now going 81st overall, ahead of Caleb Johnson. Jacory Croskey-Merritt ahead of Caleb Johnson, right behind Tyrone Tracy Jr. Jamey, is this an overreaction? RB28 right now for Bill Croskey-Merritt.
Slightly, but we'll find out in a few days if it was worth it. If he comes out and dominates carries for the Commanders. So, I mean, I'll stick to what I've been saying since the Robinson trade. I think Eckler's role does not change dramatically at all. He's going to still be the change of pace guy and be the guy that plays on passing downs. And we'll find out if Croskey-Merritt's going to significantly handle the majority of carries comparatively to Chris Rodriguez or anybody else there. So, I mean, as I said, I would take him over Caleb Johnson if that's the next running back we're talking about, because I think there's more upside for him this season based on his opportunity and his role on his team. So it's a little bit too soon for me, for both those guys personally, but I think this is sort of the right range of running backs.
I think I've spent a lot of time in the last few hours comparing my week 1 projections that I did last night and player props for week 1. And so I may insert a little bit of that today. For the Commanders, Jacory Croskey-Merritt's over-under for rushing yards in week 1's 33.5. Chris Rodriguez is 28.5. Austin Eckler is 20.5. But I think the thing that there's a lot of uncertainty that's being expressed by the market there. We don't really know. The thing that is instructive is the two that are probably more stable, Jaden Daniels and Austin Eckler. If you combine their over-unders for rush attempts, it's 14. So if you think about the fact that 13 to 15 rush attempts per game are going to somebody that's not Jacory Croskey-Merritt or Chris Rodriguez, he better completely obliterate Chris Rodriguez in that split. There can't be much of a split at all between those two, or Jacory Croskey-Merritt's not going to be very good.
Well, okay, so he's going as RB28 right now on CBS. Let's talk about what Brian Robinson Jr. did last year. So he basically was the guy. Or Eckler would mix in, but Eckler was very complimentary back. But also he had 20 catches in 14 games, so not right. So this is probably what you should expect from Croskey-Merritt, is not a lot of catches. He barely did that in college. Brian Robinson Jr. was the number 21 running back per game in non-PPR, but in full PPR he was number 30 per game. However, he did leave 2 games very early, one with an injury, one was week 18. He scored a combined 7 PPR fantasy points in those 2 games. If you remove those 2 games, you look at the normal snap share games, or there were some blowouts in there. So like non-injury, non-leaving early games for Brian Robinson Jr., he was about 13 PPR fantasy points per game. And that is basically what Tony Pollard and DeAndre Swift were last year. It's borderline RB2. It's around RB24. You're hoping that Croskey-Merritt could be even better than that. But Brian Robinson Jr. averaged 4.3 yards per carry. He scored 8 touchdowns in 14 games, but more like 12 games, obviously. Right? He was on pace for 11 touchdowns in his healthy, normal games. So can Croskey-Merritt be better than that? I don't know. You might be setting yourself up for a guy who's not going to catch a lot of passes. I don't know. I guess it might be overreacting is what
I do think. If you're going to Azer's stat, Brian Robinson Jr.'s stats from last year, you should consider that 40% of his catches last year came in 4 games that Austin Eckler didn't play.
Right. Yep.
Great point.
He when those two played together, Robinson was just over 11 points per game, and Eckler was just over 10 points per game.
Yeesh. That's not good.
And that's like 10, whether it's full PPR, half PPR, non-PPR, because he barely caught the ball.
We're also talking about a 30-year-old Austin Eckler,
right,
who missed time last year.
Missed games with a concussion last year.
All right. Nick Chubb is up 18 spots to 112th overall. He's ahead of Javonte Williams, just behind J.K. Dobbins and Tank Bigsby. This is Nick Chubb. In the Fantasy Pros real-time ADP, he's 115th overall, so it basically matches the CBS ADP. And he gets the Rams in week 1. They added Poona Ford in the offseason, hoping to bolster their run defense, which was not good last year. The Bucs, they usually have a good run defense when Vita Vea is healthy. The Jaguars, that's a great matchup, it looks like on paper. The Titans usually have a good run defense when Jeffrey Simmons is healthy, and the Ravens usually have a tough run defense. So I don't think it's a great schedule for Nick Chubb before their bye week, and that's bye week is week 6. Maybe Joe Mixon's back at that point. But Dave, I saw a tweet from you about Woody Marks. So what do you want to say about the Texans backfield?
I think Woody Marks is the one to go after. It's almost like what Heath was saying with the draft build. If you need a running back to start week 1, I think Nick Chubb is the one. And it's just based on what I saw on film. It's not based on anything else. But Woody Marks looks like he could end up being the best running back for Houston as far as agility, explosiveness compared to Pierce, compared to Chubb. So I don't mind grabbing him with a later pick. I don't want 2 Texans running backs on my team, though.
Okay. All right. I'm going to run through the rest here real quick. Ollie Gordon is now 124th overall. He's up 18 spots. Devon Achane, last we heard, is expected to play week 1, but obviously you can see the appeal there. Braelon Allen's up 7 spots to 125th overall. Who you guys taking, Ollie Gordon or Braelon Allen?
Allen.
Okay. Bhayshul Tuten is up 9 spots to 140th overall. He's ahead of Jerome Ford. He's kind of in the same spot as Dylan Sampson. Would you rather have Bhayshul Tuten or a Browns running back?
When does Judkins sign?
I'm drafting today, so I don't know. Let's just go with that.
It's Tuten. It's long-term in mind, and he's still available in almost half of CBS Sports leagues.
I'd still go Sampson over Tuten, but I guess it's possible that one of ETN or Bigsby gets traded in the next couple days.
Well, no. What if you need a running back in week 1? You need a running back to begin the season. It makes perfect sense to go with Sampson over Tuten in that situation.
Who do the Browns have? I'm sorry.
Cincinnati.
The Bengals.
Bengals. And by the way, normally we'll have our waiver wire column up on Tuesday. Usually today, every year I do sort of like a last look at ADP, first look at the waiver wire. So those stories will all be up. We're actually doing 4 stories at each position, so they'll all be up by the end of the day.
Right. Trade chart will be up soon too.
Projections will be up by the end of the day. Quarterback already is.
Damn, man, we're already in mid-season form.
Ooh, what am I going to do today? It's Labor Day.
Probably go to the Hamptons and have a virgin strawberry daiquiri.
That virgin strawberry daiquiri was actually not for me. It was for the kids. I didn't have any virgin strawberry daiquiri. So yeah, I think I'm going to buy some. I think the burgers today. Okay. Anyway, we will have some bold predictions in just a bit, some news and notes for week 1, and that's coming up. But let me tell you that right now, it is time for football at BetMGM. Register with BetMGM to get instant access to the best variety of parlay selection features, no sweat and boost tokens, live betting options, and much more. New players can receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets with the bonus code FANTASY if they don't win their first bet. You don't want to miss out on any of the hard-hitting action at BetMGM. Place your money line, parlay bets, and more today. BetMGM, make it legendary. I was pretty close to placing a Notre Dame money line bet when Miami was up 14 in the 4th quarter. I was like, might as well profit off of this inevitable collapse. But I didn't. All right, let's take a break. Come back with some news and notes and bold predictions and last-minute draft tips for you on FFT.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. When you need your sports in a snap, find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.
Welcome back, folks. Okay.
Adam.
Yeah.
The Hurricanes aren't the only Florida team to have won a great game this weekend.
This guy over here.
Because I can't help but notice Jamey's hat. He's representing his Gators. Nice 55-0 beatdown over an opponent just as good as Miami's. Long Island University.
Florida State had the biggest win.
Yeah,
Florida State had the biggest win.
You guys had a great win. It was awesome.
Oh, if that game was 90 seconds longer, I don't know if it would have been a win. But it was what it was. But congratulations to the Gators on their dominant win over Long Island.
Listen, man, we got September 20th is right around the corner.
Oh, we can't play with you guys.
Oh, I don't know about that.
You might. Lagway is good. I'm a big Lagway fan.
You have a defense now.
We do. But I don't know if we got a offense.
Yeah, by the way,
we got
you got the 2026 number 1 overall pick.
Who?
I don't know about that.
Malachi Tony?
No, your quarterback.
He's saying Beck is
Carson Beck. No, I was wrong about him.
You walk that back. Come on.
I was wrong about him. He doesn't have the arm.
He's going to flip-flop on this 4 more times throughout the season.
No, he's going
to go for 350 and 4 against Florida, and then it's going to be, I told you, he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
No, he might win the Heisman, but he's not. I don't think he's really an NFL prospect. Maybe.
No, you said number 1 overall pick. Stand by it.
If Tyler Shuck can get drafted in the second round, I think Carson Beck can be drafted in the first round, but not number one. I did say it was a horrible take. What happened? Arch Manning. What was that? What happened? All right. Anyway, news and notes. Eagles, Cowboys, Thursday night. Landon Dickerson, star offensive guard for the Eagles, trending toward playing, which I think would be good news for Barkley. A.J. Brown is also going to play this week. Hopefully people pick up on the sarcasm there. Minnesota wide receiver Jalen Naylor is trending toward playing this week. Look, it's week 1. I know we're not going to tell you to start Jalen Naylor, but in deep leagues, I don't know what the deal is with him and Thielen, but he scored a touchdown in both of the games that Addison missed last year. He only had 4 targets in those games. But it's, it's a deep league thing. Monday night at the Bears.
Let's get to the news.
Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker's out 4 to 6 weeks with a quad injury. Can they get Adam Thielen back? They have Hunter Renfrow back. And I really like the schedule for Carolina. At Jacksonville, at Arizona, which might be tough. Atlanta, at New England, Miami, Dallas. That's the first 6 weeks for Carolina. So, Heath, what you want to talk about this one here? What do you think about this for the Panthers receiving core?
I think it gives Xavier Legette a little bit more of a runway to get off to a good start. A lot of people are expecting Coker to be much better than him, and he was much better than him as a rookie, but Legette still has the better, forgot the word that we use, pedigree.
Profile.
And now there's some target opportunities available for him. It may also, I think the guy, after you said that schedule, that I've just been thinking and really came out this way in week 1 projections is that we may, after a month, feel like we were really too low on Chuba Hubbard again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Tavion Sanders too.
Says you on Chuba. I had him as a 3-4 turn guy all summer, and I love that schedule for him to begin the year.
I think I have him at a 3-4 turn guy too.
Oh, all right. Then you're not too low on him.
Well, we might be.
Dallas,
Do you think he could be better, like to begin the year, than some of the studs that were taken ahead of him, like Kyron, Hampton, Cook?
It will be interesting to see if this Rico Dowdle playing on third downs matters.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know that it will. He I think I have a third down note on him. I don't know that he played a lot of. He must have played third down. Anyway, Chuba Hubbard, by the way, has been one of the worst receiving running backs just in terms of efficiency in the NFL. So I do think that could go down. He had 43 catches in 15 games. But after the first 2 games last year were horrible for the Panthers. Bryce Young was playing, then he got benched. From weeks 3 through 16, you were talking about the number 8 running back per game in full PPR in Chuba Hubbard. All right, next up, the Cowboys signed Deron Bland, 4-year, $92 million extension with $50 million guaranteed. There was also a podcast, was Albert Breer talking about how some people on the Cowboys didn't love the ego of Micah Parsons. Trayvon Diggs, by the way, their other cornerback, he may not be ready for week 1. He's recovering from a knee injury, and that game is just a few days away at Philadelphia.
But he avoided the pup list, though.
What'd you say?
He avoided the pup list.
Yeah. He might miss a few. I think he even said he'll be back no later than week 4, I think Diggs said. Trayvon Diggs. Buffalo defensive tackle Dwayne Carter is out for the season with a torn Achilles. He's a rotation piece for them. And Kansas City wide receiver Jalen Royals is likely out this week. They're playing at the Chargers, but that game's in Brazil on Friday. Is there with no Rashee Rice, no Jalen Royals, I don't know how big of a deal that is. Is anyone thinking about Marquise Brown for maybe 10 PPR fantasy points or anything, or anyone else?
Get ready for 6 Juju catches.
Yeah.
But these are like DFS plays. I'm not starting these guys. I haven't been hit by injury. It's week 1. Who am I starting, Juju or Hollywood over?
No, it'd be like the 16-team leaguers.
Triple
like
flex.
Okay, so let's get into bold predictions. But first, it is now time for the Hymn of the Week, sponsored by producer Jordan Peele's upcoming sports horror film, Him, only in theaters on September 19th. Now, today we're going to do the Hymn of the Year, and we're going to make an early MVP prediction. Let's call it a fantasy MVP prediction. And I don't want to put that on it, Heath. But It's
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it, Heath. Who's our him of the week / him of the year?
A lot of leagues out there, you can still get TreVeyon Henderson in round 4, and he could absolutely be your fantasy MVP if you get him in round 4, especially in a full PPR league where everybody knows what TreVeyon Henderson can do in the passing game. I expect him to lead. I predict boldly that he will lead all running backs in targets and catches and finish top 10 at the position in full PPR. And you know what? I'm not so sure he's going to be so hamstrung in the running game either. One of the week 1 lines that I love to see is he and Ramondre Stevenson have the same number of rushing yards for their over-under, 42.5. There's a saying about wide receivers or really fast guys. If he's even, he's leaving. That's true about TreVeyon Henderson with his speed. It's also true about him with Ramondre Stevenson in this running back competition. If they're even week 1, it's not going to be close by week 4.
Fired up for that one. All right. That was our him of the week. Sponsored by the upcoming film Him. Producer Jordan Peele invites you to the football, sports, and horror event of the season, which asks the question, what are you willing to sacrifice? See Him only in theaters on September 19th. And this transitions into Heath's bold predictions. TreVeyon Henderson leads all running backs in targets and catches and finishes top 10 at the position. Meanwhile, last week, Dan on the bold predictions said George Pickens is going to be a top 12 wide receiver. You have one that might make that true or might accompany that. Let's get your Dak Prescott bold prediction.
Dak Prescott will throw for 5,000 yards and finish as a top 5 quarterback. We've seen this before. A high volume pass offense. Dak threw for 4,900 yards in 16 games once in his career, threw for 44 and 45 already. It's going to be a career year for Dak with maybe his best set of pass catching weapons ever. Dak Prescott top 5 for the season, not for week 1.
I think I'm the only one left in our office league, right? The 20-team office league, right? Dave, you're out. And
I'm
Heath,
not
you've
in
been
it
out
anymore now.
for a couple of years.
Yep.
Larry Hartstein, who does a great job for us on Sportsline, just he picks right after me. So I had the first overall pick, he had the second overall pick. He just stacked Dak Prescott, George Pickens, and Jake Ferguson. It's tight end premium league. And so I was actually waiting to see what he was going to do because I wanted Pickens. If I took Pickens, I was not going to take Ferguson. I was hoping for actually Pickens and Tyler Warren. He ends up taking Pickens. I take Warren. He takes Ferguson right after me. So I'm curious to see how that's going to work out for him.
Dak Prescott has been a top 4 quarterback per game in 3 of the last 6 seasons. One of those seasons was only 4.5 games. He's been a top 8 quarterback per game in 4 of the last seasons.
And
yeah,
it's pretty much every other season. It was 2019, it was 2021, it was 2023. He's due.
Okay. All right. Next bold prediction. You have a DeAndre Swift one. Wow. All right. What do we got?
DeAndre Swift will set a career high in yards from scrimmage, which his career high right now is about 1,350. He'll set a career high in touchdowns, total touchdowns, which his career high right now is 10, and he will finish as a top 12 running back.
I'm not going to even get into it here because this has been your call for a long time. Not this specifically, but you've been the big DeAndre Swift guy, and you've been the big Jerry Jeudy guy. So what's your next bold prediction?
I think I said this bold prediction back in February, but Jerry Jeudy will be a top 12 wide receiver for as many games as Joe Flacco starts.
And how many games? How many games are we thinking that's going to be?
I think week 1 could have a big impact on that because we know how the Bengals usually start and we know how bad their defense is. If the Browns pull off the upset, they're 5.5-point underdogs, then it might be halfway through the season. It might be a little bit longer. I think, listen, it's going to also depend on if Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders look any better in practice than they did in the preseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're going to be practicing on scout team. I don't know how
Right.
many opportunities those guys are going to get to like practice with the ones. Cleveland's bye is week 9. Before that bye, Cincinnati week 1. After that, it's Baltimore, Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, Pittsburgh. That is a gauntlet for the Browns offense.
I wonder if people are going to try to trade Jeudy if he gets off to has a
Could
huge
be a sell high.
Oh, I expect so, yeah.
Yeah, could be.
All right, last one. This one is great. This cracks me up. Wow. Go ahead.
Cooper Kupp and Deebo Samuel will outscore Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. on a per game basis.
Wasn't there a prop that you had on Kupp that you mentioned?
His week one prop, if you're a believer in Cooper Kupp like I am, his week one prop is absurdly low. 3.5 catches, 31.5 yards against San Francisco.
Are you hammering it? The over?
I don't talk about that.
Can't do that actually, no.
But if you could, if you had to recommend it to Mr. Popinski, for example,
I have
in the chat.
Cooper Kupp projected in week one. This is a better way to answer the question, right?
Sure.
For 5 catches and 51 yards.
There you go.
Okay. Cooper Kupp and Deebo Samuel outscore Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr.
And this is expressing both. I've been the high guy on both those guys all summer, so that's not surprising. And I'm pretty terrified of Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr.
I feel like I know what to expect from Garrett Wilson. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but I can at least come up with a thought in my mind of, oh, okay, I know Justin Fields' history. I know what Garrett Wilson's done in 3 years. I know the Jets want to run the ball, whatever. I have no idea what to expect with Marvin Harrison. None.
As of right now, I'm just mostly expecting what we got last year.
I'm not.
Yeah, neither am I.
They'd be so stupid to use him, to know everything that we all know and to not change the way they use Marvin Harrison would be, I think, pretty ridiculous. But that doesn't mean I'm super high on him or anything like that. But I have some optimism that they will do things to get him going. All you've heard all offseason is Kyler Murray talking about how he knew he needed to have a better rapport with Marvin Harrison. And they did this and they did that. And they have a better rapport. And, they seem intent on making this work. So they are, I feel like they have to design some easy catches for him. Get him the ball at the line of scrimmage, wide receiver screens, those types of things. Horizontal movement, not just vertical. They have to do it. I still just... Sounds crazy talking about him because he was like the best wide receiver prospect in so long. I don't see the speed to be great. I don't know.
No, I don't either.
I shouldn't say that. I'm concerned about the speed. Go ahead.
Right, but I think he can be a well-rounded receiver in other ways, and I'm taking the leap of faith that the Cardinals will see that too. We already have one bet, Heath and I do, between Kamara versus DeAndre Swift. We can make it 2 bets if I take Harrison, and you can have your pick of Kupp or Deebo.
This is a bold prediction. This is not how we have things.
All right.
But you have it ranked that way, don't you?
I think I have Deebo ahead. I didn't have Kupp ahead.
Name a couple of other receivers you have ranked ahead of Marv?
Jerry Jeudy.
Huh?
Jerry Jeudy.
I believe I have Marv over Jerry Jeudy. We could do that one too.
There we go.
All right. That's 2.
You guys keep making bets. What is the bet?
We'll figure out something.
Do it at the end of the year.
Listen, bragging rights are important on this show, I think.
All right. Dave's bold predictions from last week were Breece Hall and Tyreek Hill have great per game averages.
Hold on. We could take some suggestions on the bet.
Yeah, sure.
What the bet should be.
I'm up to
Adam, Jamey, you guys could think of stuff. No, Jamey, we're not doing a hair bet or an eyebrow bet. But
I'm so bad at this.
Yeah.
I think you guys have to write a parody song and perform it. It's got to be about fantasy football.
I think if let's make it let's include both bets because this is not insignificant.
Okay.
But I will send Dave a care package from Joe's in Kansas City if he wins both bets.
Okay.
All right. And then what do you want? If
I would like you've this is dumb of me probably because I've already had you take me to a pizza place once.
Yes.
No, I'll
was
take care of you.
Some of the worst pizza I've had.
I'll take care of you.
But I think we should get some whatever you say the best Chicago style pizza is that I'm assuming that you find in a food court on Michigan Avenue.
Man.
What if I don't those though? What if I want Heath's meat?
I know what you mean, Dave. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I want slow smoked, cooked, burnt ends.
I almost want to make a bet with Heath so I can be in on this and give you actual good New York pizza instead of the garbage that Dave gave you when you guys were in New York.
Oh, it was so bad. It was terrible.
All right, Dave's bold predictions. Breece Hall and Tyreek Hill have great per game averages after they get traded. Do you still think they're going to get traded or do you think it's possible?
I think they'll get traded at some point. Tyreek more than Breece.
Terry McLaurin finishes as a top 12 wide receiver from Halloween through New Year's.
That looked cooler before McLaurin signed his extension, but even so, I still expect a slow start for Terry McLaurin. And by the time we get to November, he'll be slam dunk wide receiver 1 starting material.
Man, he had such a big finish. I'm trying to find it.
I know.
15.8 or more PPR fantasy points in 12 of his last 15 games, Terry McLaurin. Next up, Tyler Warren leads the Colts in targets, catches, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. We know you love him.
That one for months.
Jackson Dart becomes a top 12 fantasy quarterback, and Caleb Williams does not. I will buy you a New York City pizza place. I will buy you a restaurant. Jackson Dart is a top 12 quarterback.
Can I go a step further?
Sure.
I think the Giants make the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
Can I go a step further?
The Hurricanes win 6 national championships in a row?
No. I think the Giants can win the division too.
No, they can't. Just stop right now.
I really do think they'll make the playoffs.
Going back to the Breece Hall one, does
yeah.
this matter? Week 1 rushing lines?
Oh, yes. What is it?
Breece Hall, 48.5. Braelon Allen, 26.5.
It's the Steelers. So
it is the Steelers. I wouldn't touch the Breece one. I might give away the Braelon one on the player prop show Friday, 1:00.
All right. Next up, Rashee Rice will disappoint and fail to match the 16.4 PPR fantasy points per game he had in his prior 17 full games, including the postseason.
Yep.
All right.
Slow. Obviously, he's not playing the first 6 weeks of the season. That's the equivalent of missing out on a training camp's worth of work. Comes back, slow start, bye week, week 11. Okay, maybe he starts to get into the swing of things, but everybody else in that offense will already be on the same page as Mahomes. And I'm kind of scared it's going to be a lost-ish kind of year for Rashee Rice.
All right, and we've got Jamey's bold predictions after this break on Fantasy Football Today. We'll be right back. Jamey's bold predictions. Justin Fields will lead all quarterbacks in rushing yards. This one's pretty bold. Jordan Mason, Zach Charbonnet, and Braelon Allen will all be the best running backs on their respective teams this season without an injury. What do you rank the likelihood of those 3 guys leading their teams in rushing without an injury? Mason, Charbonnet, Allen.
Mason, Allen, Charbonnet.
The best second-year wide receiver this season will be Ricky Pearsall. Woo, man. Spicy take.
Nothing to do with what I'm wearing.
Gators head to toe. Oh, you're violating my rule. Didn't I say this rule on the air or no?
If it's your rule, I don't care.
Right.
It's a great rule. Okay, no, this stemmed from
you wear my shirt from when I was 10 years old. You can't tell me anything about how to dress.
No, I wear your shirt. I don't wear a hat. The rule is you cannot wear multiple pieces of sporting attire of the same team unless it's game day. It's either the shirt
because I figured you guys would be decked out in hurricane stuff.
Well, you were right. Yeah. Well, that's fine. You can break the rules for that. Number 4, 10 rookie running backs. 10 rookie running backs will finish in the top 30.
Wear a hoodie to the beach.
Fashionista Adam Azers.
I didn't wear a hoodie to the beach.
According to
probably wore pants though.
Wore a hoodie to the beach?
When you met your wife, you're wearing a hoodie at the beach.
No, I didn't. I had my laptop. I was wearing a hoodie. I don't know. No,
you wore a laptop?
Maybe it was on your chest there. Now I got confused.
Yeah, that could absolutely be. 10 rookie running backs will finish in the top 30 in PPR points per game this season. That would be crazy, man. A third of it.
Names.
Yeah, well, Genty, Hampton, Henderson, Harvey, Croskey-Merritt, Jaden Blue, Bhayshul Tuten, Ollie Gordon, Dylan Sampson, and Woody Marks.
So why don't you just name the rookie running backs that you don't think will
Caleb Johnson.
Right. That's
I don't think Caleb Johnson will be a top 30 running back.
Yeah, but that's a great takeaway because some people people drafted him in the mid rounds and they want to know what to expect. And now you're telling them that Woody Marks will have a better per game finish than him.
All right. We can do last minute draft tips. There's also a surprise segment on here called I'm about to drop 2 players from Jamey's team.
Oh, I love that segment.
I can do it, or Jamey can do it.
You can do it. Go ahead.
All right, let's go. Yeah, well, I'm going to share my screen in a
Yeah,
moment.
I think a YouTube poll for which players it is.
All right, we could do that. So, you know what? Why don't you guys tell me about your Labor Day plans real quick? While
The fun part about this is Adam commissions 1 league that I'm in with him. I believe I commissioned like 5 that I'm in with him.
Yeah.
So payback will be fun.
But I'm not breaking any of the rules. You're cheating.
Well, you did break one rule when you wouldn't allow the trade that I made because you just decided on a whim that it wasn't allowed.
I thought the trade decision was a bad job of commissioning.
Yep.
And I think the abuse of the not dropping players. So at some point, I've been very tempted to drop a player from Dave's team in YOLO multiple times.
It's been my silent protest that Adam
Jamey is a serial
disallowed my trade. Well, it's been a silent protest of mine.
But I think what you should do is just whoever the last 2 ads were, you just take them off the team.
Right. That's the solution if you do it at all. But I think you should have given Jamey the opportunity to make it right first.
No, that's
the opportunity. This conversation's been going on for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been
Okay, well,
the opportunity.
all right. So if you've given him the opportunity and he hasn't done it, and then Heath, you could do this to me, so I'm not going to be whiny if you ever do. But you should take away the last 2 people.
So my wide receivers are
I
pretty
think that's
thin, Adam.
dangerous.
So
That's dangerous. Where's Jamey's team? Dangerous to take away the last 2. Let me see transactions, ad drops.
Quit,
so the
Jamey.
last 2 are Chris. I could drop Chris Rodriguez and De'Ami Brown. Could do that. But the problem for Jamey was 2 players were no longer. 2 players.
Jamey Brown's not on his team, so that'll be hard to drop him.
Exactly. 2 players are no longer pup eligible, and this is a deep dynasty league, so it's like nothing on free agency. So come on, just pick 2 players to drop, please.
I'll do it after the show for you.
All right, thank you.
I do not believe you.
If you don't do it after the show, I'm dropping. I'm gonna drop.
The rule is that he can't change his lineup, right? As soon as he changes his lineup, they're going to go on his bench and he'll have an illegal roster.
I just don't like. Obviously, Jamey is waiting until the second before Thursday night to drop these guys, and it's really not in the spirit of.
Neither was you disallowing my trade, so you caused
it was because you broke the rules to make the trade.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You had an extra player. I told you to drop the player, and then you were like, "Hold on, I'm going to trade him." No, you can't do that. You can't make a trade on a player that shouldn't be on your roster to begin with.
There was no rule that suggested that, though.
I did say yes. There. Okay.
No, you said it. There was no rule written there.
This red thing.
Ian Rappaport just tweeted that Devon Achane will practice today, according to Mike McDaniel. So that's
as will Tyreek Hill and Darren Waller.
Good news.
Oh, by the way, okay. Honestly, the Dolphins are so interesting. One of the most interesting teams to me this year. I'm going to stop sharing this screen now. And they have, I think, a very favorable schedule. And it's early. I really feel like if there's one team in football that needs to get off to a good start, it might be the Dolphins because they've been a bit of a circus and their coach could be on the hot seat.
Oh, yeah.
Not could be.
Their dog's on the road at Indianapolis, but that's a winnable game. Like they've got 4 winnable games in their first 5, I'd say. So
Jaylen Warren has signed a 2-year contract extension with the Steelers.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Great. It's the Colts, the Patriots,
They
the Bills,
signed up
the
for
Jets.
Johnson already.
No, come on. No. All right. Last minute
I don't
draft
think their
tips.
schedule's that easy.
Do you guys have any last minute draft tips or would you like me to give mine?
I'd love to hear yours.
Okay. And we have a whole show tomorrow.
I want to hear you argue with Jamey more about the rules of a fantasy league.
Yeah, just make them up as you go.
I'm not making them up.
You're changing a rule like currently in our league. Days before the season starts, you are changing a rule.
Let's not talk about that because that's not
Without a vote.
That's not true. I asked the whole league. It's not my fault that you never responded. I'm doing that for the benefit of the league.
By the way, Mike McDaniel's record with Tua healthy is what? What do you think?
I'm going to guess it's 6 games over 500.
Wrong.
I'm going to guess it's even 500.
Wrong.
I don't have a guess.
He's 9 games over 500 with Tua.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
20 and 11.
Wow. All right, my 2 tips. We have a whole episode on CBS
31 games in 3 years.
For God's sake,
Sorry.
my 2 tips. We have a full episode tomorrow on last minute draft tips. You can hear from the other guys, but here's 2 from me. After George Kittle comes off the board, don't take a tight end until round 8. So you get Laporta in round 5 in leagues. You get Kelsey there, Hawkinson. You know, It's a big mess. And there's a lot of guys who are in the same tier. So just wait it out and see who falls to you. And the other thing, the other angle of this that I don't talk about a lot is that I think we love the wide receivers from rounds 5 through 7, 5 through 8. Good running backs in there too. You don't want to miss out on those to take a tight end that might not be better than the guy that's going several rounds later. So
Yeah,
that's how I've been
Who are you
drafting.
passing on in that range?
So basically,
You personally, forget about how drafts go. Who are you passing on?
It's a somewhat complicated question because it basically I have a tier there of I think 5 tight ends: Laporta, Kelsey, Hawkinson. Help me out. Njoku. I would say it's those 4. I would not put Andrews in there. And what I'll do is I'll look at those 4, and if any of them fall to round 8, I'll take them. And if they don't, I'll pass on them. And if I don't get one of those, then I'm probably taking Tyler Warren in round 9.
Yeah,
But
not if you're drafting with Dave.
Well, that's true. But
Or Andy
I
Holloway.
feel like you guys follow the same strategy. I don't see you take any of those guys in rounds 5, 6, 7, really, right?
I usually take Njoku in round 7 if there's nothing else that I like, and I've already gotten everything but a quarterback.
I am thrilled to get any of those 4 that you mentioned in that tier in round 7. Very
Okay, so it's round 7 for you. All right, it's round 8 for me, but round 7 for you, that's fine. Again, 2 receiver versus 3 receiver league make you go to round 7, but fair enough.
And also, typically in most drafts that I've seen, by that point, Kelsey and Laporta are gone.
Right.
That's the interesting thing about those guys is they could all be fast. Well, 3 of them could be really fast starters. Njoku with Flacco, we've seen him average 18 fantasy points per game with Flacco. Kelsey without Rashee Rice and in good shape could have a blitz to start the season. Hawkinson without Jordan Addison for 3 games. Like you may be prepared to feel bad about passing on those guys in round 6 or 7 for the first month of the season.
Ingram, while healthy, with the young receivers still learning their way. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Ingram's not going in that range, so you could wait there. And
Well, neither is Njoku. I mean, he's just sort of creeping in there now.
And then my other draft tip is I really think you need to draft rookie running backs. I think this might be bold, but I think 10 of them could finish in the top 30.
I heard that. Yeah.
Now listen,
so your 2 tips are just Jamey's advice: great or late, and draft rookie running backs.
Oh, I got an email that another podcast used great or late last week.
But they usually credit us, though.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they did, but they usually do.
There's 7 million fantasy football podcasts. If we're not saying the same thing as other people, then there's something wrong.
Great or late took me years to come up with, Heath. Like that was really tough.
I mean, Jamey said it once and then you started repeating it.
Stop. This is going too far. No, but seriously, we've been blessed with a really good rookie running back class and be in on it. And I think it's really easy to do. You know, I'm looking at some ADPs. Ashton Genty's a 1-2 turn pick, not just CBS.
Well, before you go into that, how many do you want?
2.
That's it?
Oh, I'm fine with more, but
okay. You want at least 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, I say at least 1. There's a lot of good running backs. But yes, I think at least 2. You should. If you don't get one of the first, 5 or 6, then there's no reason why you shouldn't take a Bhayshul Tuten or a Jaden Blue or
right. Just take a shot.
I have a draft tonight that's keeper starting round 13, and for the most part, everybody's keeping 4 guys. And I won the league last year. I have the 12th pick. I'm very tempted to start my draft with Henderson and Hampton, my first 2 picks.
Are you able to keep them next year?
No, you only keep guys drafted in round 8 or later.
Right. Oh yeah.
But on that note, Dave, I do have another keeper draft tonight where I was the second worst team, and it's the first Jamar Chase is kept. I had Bijan. I can't keep him anymore. So Robinson will be the first player taken. In a regular redraft league, I would take McCaffrey second, but I'm going to take Genty second to keep him as a first rounder next year when I win the league, and he'll be 12th.
Yeah. Anyway, Genty's at the 1-2 turn. This is CBS ADP and Fantasy Pros real-time ADP, which is the 24 hours thing, I think. Omarion Hampton is basically at the 3-4 turn. He's RB16 on CBS, RB14 on Fantasy Pros.
3-4 turn. That's crazy.
Yeah, 37th on CBS, 35th on Fantasy Pros real time. TreVeyon Henderson, 43rd on CBS, 46th on Fantasy Pros.
Crazy.
Thank you for all the people in the chat who were telling me you're never getting TreVeyon Henderson in round 4. His ADP is literally in round
Right.
4.
Those would be the first 2 that I'd really try to target amongst this rookie class. Because Genty is Genty, and if you really want him, you'll find a way to get him in round 1, unless you're picking too early in round 1. But those 2 guys, if you really want to start digging into the rookies, those ADPs are great. Hampton's is 3-4 turn, you said, or 2-3 turn?
3-4.
Dude,
The next one's going to be
I
wild.
love
too.
that bargain. I love that. That's my favorite H of the Triple H.
RJ Harvey, 57th on CBS, 60th on Fantasy Pros. Is RB 2 or 3?
Can I give my Broncos rushing lines?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Week 1 rushing yardage, J.K. Dobbins 44.5, RJ Harvey 32.5. Rush attempts, J.K. Dobbins 11.5, RJ Harvey 8.5.
I think that's also worth saying. Is I do think that I'd love to come away with some rookie running backs, including guys that are starting. We could see a little bit of a slow start for these guys. That's pretty typical for any running back that's not drafted in the first round of the NFL draft. They almost never, even second round picks, almost never come in and have a big workload immediately. So it is worth.
We're going to have a lot of panic on Monday, a week from today. I can't believe that the Chiefs did that to Omari and Hampton. And Najee played more than I thought, and Dobbins did this compared to Harvey. And why did Henderson only have this many carries compared to Ramon? I mean, we're gonna get a lot of that.
Oh, I would love to look at some of the tweets from last year after Derrick Henry had 13 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown and 10.6 fantasy points at the Chiefs in week 1. He's washed up. He's slow. No one says washed up anymore because they're all wrong. He's washed. He's slow. This and that. Yeah. Okay, and Jacory Croskey-Merritt, as I mentioned, he's a riser. He's 81st on CBS. That's RB28. But Jacory Croskey-Merritt is 99th in the Fantasy Pros real-time ADP. That's RB35. Huge difference between RB28 on CBS, RB35 on Fantasy Pros. And then Caleb Johnson is RB.
He will have the best week 1 of all the rookie running backs. There's a bold prediction for you.
Not Genty's got to be. One.
Yeah.
All right. Croskey-Merritt's facing the Giants. Caleb Johnson, 84th overall on CBS, 81st in Fantasy Pros real-time ADP. That's RB 28 or 29.
Too high.
Okay.
For who? I'm sorry.
Caleb Johnson.
Yeah, way too high.
Jamey doesn't even hear his name anymore. That's how.
He doesn't even exist.
Let's see. How many rookie drafts? I think I've done 4 non-startups. So taking out your draft, Heath. 1 was Adams. I drafted Quinshon Judkins in round 1. 1 was Heath's YOLO league. I drafted Caleb Johnson in round 1. I'm loving those 2.
Well, it just begs the question. I don't know why. I get there's excitement after the NFL draft, but why don't we do for rookie drafts later? Why do people do them so early?
I was just looking. I have 10 dynasty rosters and I have 0 Caleb Johnson. I have 13 redraft rosters. I have 1 Caleb Johnson, and you can guess who I drafted that team with.
I'm not even that high on him. I think you guys are a little too.
You're
low.
the Caleb Johnson guy.
Apparently,
I did like that one draft where you took him ahead of Jalen Warren. Prove a point.
I would do that. I'm not gonna re-litigate that one. All right, we have one last draftathon question from our buddy Matt Walters. Is he in the chat today? Or is he having a Labor Day fun day?
He's analyzing his FFT Dynasty League roster because the Dynasty League has been completed. We didn't quite get it done last night like I wanted to, but it's over with, and Matt has his team, so he's probably just going through trying to figure out who he's going to start, who he's going to put on his practice squad, all those things.
Okay. So Matt Walters has actually donated a lot to St. Jude. He's been, really awesome listener, viewer, and contributor. So he says, if the guys could go on a nice bro date with any of the other guys from the show, I'm talking dinner, movies, carnival, walk in the park, and text each other when they get home safely, who would they pick to go with from the show and why?
Adam, without a doubt, would
Me?
be my first pick. Of course.
By the way, Dan and Jacob are included in this, according to Matt.
Without a doubt, you'd be the cheapest of all of them because you don't drink.
That's true. But I like burgers more than steak. So, yeah, it would be pretty cheap.
Dave would get me to bed early. So I'd be done by 8:30.
We'd have an afternoon.
Get home and get to bed. Go 5 o'clock. Have a nice dinner.
I would definitely.
You can watch Dave Dave is the best person to ever watch order food because he will say, "I like the hamburger. Can you make it chicken?" And
Can you make it?
I literally go to the same place like once a month to get the exact same thing, and it's a salad with chicken, and I have them turn the chicken into a burger, have them take the beets off the salad, bring an extra dressing on the side. Like I'm Mr. Customizable when it comes to ordering, but that's how it should be. Why should I take a meal exactly as it comes if I don't like something on the meal?
We had, I'll let you guys see if you guys want to guess, and good opportunity to give him a shout out. My son turned 16 yesterday.
hey,
So I'm almost done spending 3 hours a day driving him around, which would be awesome.
Right. But now
and
you're about to spend $3,000 every 6 months insuring him to drive around.
Yeah, that's not gonna be great. But he
wonder
got
why
his
our basketball
choice.
season went up.
Yeah, he's got a choice between he had a choice for lunch and a choice for dinner. Can you guess what a 16-year-old chooses if he just
Chicken
go
finger.
eat wherever you want?
Pizza, was
Raising
one.
Cane.
We ordered in lunch from a fast casual, and we went out to just a regular restaurant for dinner.
Flanagan's.
No Flanagan's.
Raising Cane's.
It's too
Nope.
bad.
Dave has a Flanagan's cup. That's great. Oh boy. I'm gonna say
Best
like a
nachos in town.
Mexican place, like a Taco Tuesday place.
Oh,
where everybody-
Chipotle.
It was definitely Chipotle for
Oh.
lunch. That is like if
Yeah.
you're a high school basketball player, it seems like they all are just obsessed with Chipotle.
College
probably 'cause of
kids,
commercials.
too.
Yep.
And 41-year-olds who, also.
Yeah.
Did you have the other one? What was the other one?
It was Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
And got a strip steak. So
Good for Lucas.
By the way, to answer this question, I would choose Dan. Just sorry. I think we'd get a tennis game in probably, but
I think it would depend on what
choose
you're
the guy
doing.
who you met at a tailgate that left you.
yeah, I would, because you guys have done so much worse. David, never got your answer. Who you going on your bro date with?
I think it depends on what the date is. Like if it's a Canes game, it's obviously going to be you, Adam.
Okay.
If it's an NFL game, it's probably Jamey. If it's food, like
going to get pizza, it's got to be me.
No, I was going to say you for like meats and stuff like that for sure. If it's to a casino, it's Dan. Jacob would be good for a game too. Do I really have to go out with you guys though?
No, you do not. You
Okay,
can-
all right.
you know,
I'm just going to go out on my own.
He's just
All
going to bed.
that is a good way to go out. We will end our show that way, and we will talk to you tomorrow on Fantasy Football Today. If you're still
Wait, why
drafting,
wasn't Thomas included?
take it up with Matt Walters. He didn't put him in parentheses. I would hang out with Thomas though. He might be second on the list for me. He's a little
Thomas
too,
would hate hanging out with you.
he's a little too cool for me. I think.
I think Thomas
Thomas
is probably
is
going to want to stay
great.
out too late.
No, I don't get that vibe from Thomas. He's got golf the next day. All right, we're out of here, folks. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. See ya.
Go Canes.